Your childhood fabric store just filed bankruptcy. Jo-Ann Fabrics, 800 locations closing in 2026. Every single one. 800 stores gone by 2026. They filed Chapter 11. Liquidation sales started. Then they closed every location on the same day. But here's what's worse. Jo-Ann Fabrics is just the beginning. 800 stores gone. 738 more bankrupt. 523 closing. Half a company wiped out. 1,200 shuttered. America's biggest pharmacy chain. In the next 12 months, nearly 10,000 stores are closing across America. That's 120 million square feet of empty storefronts. That's 44 Mall of Americas just gone. And number one, the store you'd never expect. The one that defined an entire generation. Stick around, because that reveal will change how you see 2026. This isn't retail news. This is an economic collapse in real time. If you work retail, live near a mall, you're about to feel this first. We analyzed the bankruptcy filings, the earnings reports, the closure announcements for the last month. These 10 retail chains won't survive 2026. Some are already dead. They just don't know it yet. Here's what's killing them, and why 2026 is going to be brutal. Before we count down the dying, let's talk about what actually dies with them. 170,000 retail jobs lost in the past year. That's 42% more than 2024. These aren't just executive salaries. These are real people losing their livelihoods. Single moms working the register. Teenagers saving for college. People 55 and older with limited re-employment options. 70,000 people showed up to work and found the doors locked. Some had been there 10, 15, even 20 years, but the job losses cascade. When a big box store closes, the entire ecosystem collapses. The anchor store, Macy's or JCPenney, closes. Then customers stop coming. Then smaller stores can't survive. Then the entire mall is finished. Property values drop. Local tax revenue drops. Schools lose funding. A typical mall closure, $2 to $3 million in lost tax revenue. That's the difference between funding schools and cutting teachers. Now, let's zoom out, because this collapse has been building for years. 2022, 2,600 closures. 2023, 5,500 closures. 2024, 7,325 closures. 2025, on track for 15,000. The trend line is vertical. So what's driving this? Three forces colliding at once. Force 1, e-commerce speed. 80% of Americans now shop online. The shift isn't coming. It already happened. Force 2, consumer confidence is at pandemic levels. 40 to 50% of Americans believe we're heading into a recession. When people believe that, they stop spending. Stores close. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Force 3. Commercial real estate debt hit $4.8 trillion. That's bigger than auto loans, student loans, and credit cards combined. When stores close, property values drop. When property values drop, landlords can't refinance. When landlords can't refinance, banks start failing. This isn't just retail dying. This is a systemic crisis. And these 10 chains, they're ground zero. Let's count them down. Number 10. Kohl's. 27 stores closed in 2025, still operating 1,100 locations. Stock down 45% from its peak. So why is Kohl's on this list? Because Kohl's is the canary in the coal mine for mid-tier department stores. Here's their problem. Kohl's exists in retail purgatory. Too expensive for budget shoppers, not cool enough for young people. Too outdated for Instagram customers. Their core customer? Middle-class suburban families. And that demographic is racing to Amazon faster than any other group. This matters, because middle-class families are the backbone of traditional retail. If they're leaving, nobody's safe. Kohl's knows this. They've tried everything. 2019. Partnered with Amazon for package returns, drive foot traffic. It didn't work. People drop off packages and leave. 2021. Added Sephora mini shops, attract younger customers. Moderate success, not enough to move the needle. Smaller store formats, still failing. The fundamental problem, when your entire brand is the place where suburban moms buy clothes for their kids, and suburban moms now shop on Amazon while watching Netflix, you don't have a business model anymore. Revenue declining. Same-store sales negative. This is managed decline. And here's the cascade. When Kohl's closes, they're often anchor tenants in strip malls. Their closure kills foot traffic for surrounding businesses. Those businesses close, the whole area dies. Prediction for 2026, another 100 to 150 closures. Kohl's isn't dead yet, but they're on life support, and the plug's about to be pulled. But Kohl's closing stores is nothing compared to what's coming at number 3. The biggest pharmacy chain in America is shuttering 1,700 locations. Stick around for that one. Number 9, Dollar Tree. The irony? Dollar Tree's name is a lie. 30 stores closed in 2025 following prior cuts. Here's why they made this list. They destroyed their own brand promise. For 35 years, Dollar Tree sold everything for exactly $1. That wasn't just pricing, that was their entire identity. Then came inflation. 2022, raised to $1.25, first price increase in company history. 2023, raised to $1.50 at some locations. 2024, testing $3 and $5 price points. When you break your one promise, you become just another discount store. And Walmart, Target, and Amazon all do discount better. But Dollar Tree's problems go deeper. Their $8.5 billion Family Dollar acquisition in 2015, an anchor around their neck. We'll get to that next. And then there's the competition they didn't see coming, Temu and Shein. These Chinese ultra-discount platforms are selling below cost just to build market share. They're losing money on every sale to capture the market. Dollar Tree can't compete with that. No traditional retailer can. Their customer base? Low-income households hit first by inflation. When your customers are choosing between Dollar Tree and groceries, groceries win. They're getting squeezed from all sides. Dollar General's 19,000 stores in rural America. Five Below capturing teens, Walmart's $1 section stealing traffic. Stuck in the middle with a broken brand promise and no path forward. Dollar Tree is stuck in the middle with a broken brand promise and no clear path forward. When you raise prices 50% in 2 years, you're not adapting to inflation. You're admitting your business model is broken. Customers see through that. They leave. Prediction for 2026, 150 to 200 more closures. Dollar Tree isn't dying dramatically. They're bleeding out slowly, which is somehow worse. Number 8, Family Dollar, 770. Family Dollar stores closed in 2 years. That's not a closure, that's a funeral. Dollar Tree bought Family Dollar for $8.5 billion, hoping to conquer small-town America. But they got the formula catastrophically wrong. Many locations were in high-theft neighborhoods. To make up for losses, prices went up, customers noticed. Worse, stores were neglected. Broken shelves, expired food, rodent infestations. Shoppers felt unsafe. Meanwhile, Dollar General, 19,000 stores, mastered small towns. Family Dollar, down to 1,000 stores and bleeding out. Here's the tragedy. Same customer, same price, same towns. But Dollar General executed. Family Dollar didn't. Sometimes retail failure isn't about the market, it's about execution. And Family Dollar executed poorly. Now Dollar Tree is closing the worst stores, hoping to stop the bleeding. But every quarter brings new closures. The death spiral's accelerating. Prediction for 2026, another 300 to 500 closures. Don't be surprised if Dollar Tree tries to sell or spin off Family Dollar entirely. Number 7, JCPenney. Only 8 stores closed in 2025. So why is JCPenney on this list? Because they've already closed over 200 stores since 2020. These 8 are just symptoms. Penny is a zombie brand. Dead, but still walking. Their rivals? Sears. Gone. Lord & Taylor, gone. Bed Bath & Beyond, liquidated. JCPenney survived bankruptcy in 2020, but survival isn't victory. It's just delaying the inevitable. Here's the math problem. Close 200 stores, but your corporate overhead, distribution, and tech costs barely shrink. Each remaining store carries a heavier load. It's like closing half your house, but still paying to heat and light the whole thing. The fixed costs don't scale down, so every closure makes it harder to survive. Less buying power, less brand relevance, more overhead per store. You can't manage decline forever. Eventually, the math breaks. Prediction for 2026, another 20 to 50 closures. But the real question, does JCPenney even exist in 2027? They're managing their own decline. But wait until you see number 2. A beloved party supply chain with 738 stores just went bankrupt. The lesson it teaches about the future of retail will blow your mind. Number 6. Macy's. Macy's is different. They're not dying yet. They're betting their entire future on a single strategy. 66 stores closed in 2025, 150 more planned for 2026. But here's their plan. Close the weak stores. Keep the flagship locations, make them more profitable, not just surviving. Macy's is making a sophisticated strategic bet. Instead of being everywhere, they're betting on being premium somewhere. The flagship stores, the iconic locations in New York City, Chicago, San Francisco, they're actually profitable. They're cultural landmarks. The Thanksgiving Day Parade is still a thing. So Macy's strategy is keep the flagships, cut everything else. Make the flagships so profitable they sustain the company. The issue? This bet has zero room for error. One bad holiday season, one economic downturn, one misstep, and the whole strategy collapses. Plus, they're closing stores while malls are panicking. Macy's is an anchor tenant. Their presence keeps foot traffic alive. When they leave, smaller stores can't survive. The mall becomes a ghost town. Property values crater. Commercial real estate debt becomes a cascading failure. Macy's might face penalties from landlords, legal battles over lease terminations, clauses forcing them to stay open. They're playing 4D chess while everyone else is playing checkers, and they might still lose. The activist investors circling, they smell blood, pushing to go private, liquidate real estate, extract value. That's not growth, that's liquidation with extra steps. Prediction for 2026. The planned 150 closures will happen. The question is whether more follow, turning this strategic pivot into a managed retreat. If the flagship bet works, Macy's might survive as a smaller, premium brand. If it fails, even the flagship locations won't save them. There's no middle ground here. It's all or nothing. Number 5. Big Lots. 500 closures. That's not 500 closures. That's closing half the company. When you close 50% of your stores in 1 year, you're not restructuring. You're in a controlled implosion. You're admitting the entire business model failed. Big Lots got crushed by 3 forces simultaneously. Force 1. Wayfair and online furniture retailers destroyed the discount furniture model. Why visit a store when you can browse 10,000 options online? Same price, better selection, ships to your door. Force 2. TJ Maxx and HomeGoods created a better treasure hunt experience. Customers would rather browse TJ Maxx, where they might find a designer piece at 50% off, than Big Lots, where they know it's all discount branded stuff. Force 3. When inflation hit in 2022, Big Lots' poorest customers got squeezed first. People living paycheck to paycheck. When prices spike, discretionary spending gets cut. Furniture isn't essential. It goes first. Big Lots' customer base literally couldn't afford to shop there anymore. Big Lots tried to pivot. They cut prices. Margins disappeared. They remodeled stores. Expensive, didn't work. They launched online. Too late. No infrastructure. They added new categories. Confused brand identity. Nothing mattered. The customer had already left. 500 closures isn't a course correction. It's an admission. We lost. Prediction for 2026. Best case, they survive with 200 to 300 stores in select markets. Extremely regional. Completely transformed. Worst case, complete liquidation by Q3 2026. The remaining 500 stores, they're not the survivors. They're the next wave of closures. Because once you've closed half your company, suppliers lose confidence. Landlords demand guarantees. Customers assume you're dying. And that becomes self-fulfilling. Big Lots isn't on life support. They're in hospice care. Number 4. Advance Auto Parts. Advance Auto Parts thought they understood the auto parts business. They were wrong. 523 stores closing, plus 4 distribution centers. Why? They misunderstood their entire industry. The auto parts business isn't about retail anymore. It's about speed. When your check engine light comes on, you don't want to wander store aisles for 20 minutes. You want to Google the part, see it's in stock, reserve for pickup, get it in 30 minutes. Or better, order on Amazon. Delivered tomorrow. Free with Prime. Advanced Auto Parts was slow to build digital infrastructure, slow to integrate inventory systems, slow to offer same-day delivery. By the time they caught up, the market had already chosen AutoZone and O'Reilly. Here's the kicker. Advance Auto Parts had every competitive advantage. Massive real estate networks, distribution infrastructure, brand recognition, supplier relationships. They squandered all of it by moving too slowly. AutoZone integrated inventory systems early. O'Reilly built same-day delivery. Both won customer loyalty through speed. The 523 closures are a confession. We built a retail network for a model that doesn't exist anymore. When your entire infrastructure becomes a liability instead of an asset, you have to burn it down. And here's the cascade. Close 523 stores, your market coverage becomes Swiss cheese. Customers can't rely on you. They switch to competitors. The remaining stores struggle even more. The scoreboard? AutoZone has 6,000 stores. O'Reilly has 5,900. Advance? 3,800 after closures. They're now the distant third in a three-player market. Prediction for 2026? More closures inevitable. The question isn't whether Advance Auto survives, it's whether they can pivot to digital first before the brand becomes completely irrelevant. Because in auto parts, if you're not fast, you're finished. And we're about to hit the top three. Number one isn't just the biggest collapse, it's the death of an American institution that's making people across the country genuinely grieve. Stay tuned for that. Number three, Walgreens. Walgreens is the largest pharmacy chain in America. They're closing 1,700 stores by 2027, 500 in 2025, 1,200 more through 2027. Let that sink in. That's not an adjustment. That's a restructuring of an entire business model. Walgreens is caught in a perfect storm. CVS is outmaneuvering them strategically. Walmart and Target offer cheaper prescriptions. Amazon Pharmacy is stealing digital native customers. Insurance reimbursement rates keep dropping. But here's what's most revealing. Walgreens spent billions trying to become a healthcare destination. Remember that? Flu shots, primary care clinics, health services integrated into stores, nurse practitioners on staff. It failed completely. Walgreens tried to transform from a pharmacy into a healthcare provider. They invested in clinics, they hired nurses, they launched health initiatives. Turns out, people don't want their flu shot from the same place they buy chips and magazines. There's a psychological barrier. You don't think of Walgreens as a medical facility. You think of it as a convenience store that happens to have prescriptions. That brand association stuck, and Walgreens couldn't change it. Billions invested, complete strategic pivot, total failure. But here's the scary part. Walgreens is one of the healthier chains on this entire list. They have cash flow, brand recognition, market position, essential service, and they're still closing 1,700 stores. If Walgreens is dying this fast, what about everyone else? If the biggest player in the market can't compete, the industry is fundamentally broken. This creates pharmacy deserts, areas where people have to drive 30 minutes or more to fill prescriptions. That's not a business problem. That's a public health crisis. Amazon Pharmacy is waiting. They're building infrastructure. They're hiring pharmacists. They're getting licensed state by state. When Walgreens and CVS have closed enough stores that service suffers, Amazon will own the pharmacy market. Prediction for 2026. The planned closures will accelerate. Expect 600 to 800 closures in 2026 alone. By 2027, Walgreens will be half the size it was in 2023, and even that might not be enough to survive. Number two, Party City. 738 stores, bankruptcy, all gone. But Party City's death teaches us something important about retail's future. Party City had one job: be the place you buy party supplies. They owned that market. For decades, if you needed balloons for a birthday party, you went to Party City. And then, three things killed them simultaneously. Force one. Amazon started delivering balloons and streamers. Why go to a store when they arrive at your door? Force two. Spirit Halloween proved something revolutionary. You don't need year-round stores. Spirit rents dead Sears and JCPenney locations for October only. Makes millions. Vanishes November 1st. Zero overhead. Party City tried to compete with 738 permanent locations year-round. Spirit crushed them with temporary pop-ups that exist for 1 month. This is the future. Seasonal retail in dead spaces. It works better than permanent locations. Force 3. Dollar Tree started selling party supplies. Halloween napkins for $1. Balloons for $1. Most people don't need premium party supplies. They want cheap ones. Party City tried to adapt. Helium balloon services. Helium shortage killed it. Online ordering? Too late. Weak infrastructure. Smaller stores? Didn't help. Subscription boxes? Nobody wanted them. Nothing mattered. The customer had already left. Party City's bankruptcy teaches us this lesson. Your competitive advantage is only as strong as the barriers protecting it. When Amazon and Dollar Tree broke through that barrier, game over. Prediction for 2026. Brand might survive as online-only retailer or licensing deal. Physical stores, all gone by second quarter 2026. Party City isn't a tragedy. It's a case study in the future playbook for retail death. Number 1, Jo-Ann Fabrics. And now, the largest single retailer collapse of 2025. 800 stores gone. Jo-Ann Fabrics filed bankruptcy. But this isn't just a retail closure. This is the end of an era. Jo-Ann isn't just a store. It's a cultural institution. It's where your grandmother bought fabric for your Halloween costume. It's where theater departments got supplies for stage productions. It's where crafters spent Saturday afternoons. It's where you learned to sew. Jo-Ann was woven into American culture for generations, and now it's gone. The bankruptcy filing blamed the usual suspects: inflation, declining foot traffic, online competition. But the real story? It's more brutal. Jo-Ann bet on a customer base that was aging out, and they never successfully recruited younger crafters. Generational failure. Boomers and Gen X learned to craft in stores. From classes, from family. Gen Z learns from YouTube tutorials and TikTok videos. Boomers and Gen X bought supplies at Jo-Ann. Gen Z buys from Amazon, Etsy, specialized online retailers. Jo-Ann had everything. 800 locations, brand recognition, 80 years of customer history, trust, supply chain expertise. But they were selling to a generation that doesn't shop in stores anymore. Jo-Ann could have built an e-commerce empire, created YouTube tutorial integrations, partnered with TikTok crafters, leveraged their supply chain, dominated the online crafting market. Instead, they remained primarily a brick-and-mortar retailer in an era when Gen Z doesn't shop brick-and-mortar. The pandemic briefly saved them. Everyone was home crafting. Masks, sourdough, DIY projects. Sales spiked. Jo-Ann was profitable again. It felt like a reprieve. But then, normalcy returned, and their customers didn't come back. Sales crashed. Dam broke. Here's what makes Jo-Ann different from Party City or Big Lots. This isn't just another store closing. It's genuine community grief. People are posting their best Jo-Ann memories, thanking the brand, saying goodbye. People are posting, Jo-Ann is where I learned to sew from my grandmother. My theater department got all our costumes there. Saturday trips to Jo-Ann with my mom were my favorite. The internet is literally mourning this store's death. That's rare in retail. Most closures are just metrics, but Jo-Ann's closure, it's emotional. It's personal. It's the end of something people actually loved. And that's what makes this collapse matter beyond the economics. It's cultural. 800 stores, generations of memories, a piece of American culture gone. The bigger picture. So there are your 10 retail chains on critical life support. But if you've been paying attention,